Welcome to Supercross coverage from Nashville, Tennessee, and the Big 49 is ready. Stretch is here in all his redneck glory. Moto Man's ready to bang his cousin.
Closer
Jason
the can, the
HYR's
deeper
ready
it's
to sell
in.
some tractors.
Wow.
And Bookie Kyle's got his banjo out, ready to take on those city slickers.
That's all I'm saying.
So, banjo.
Yeah. You know what
Time to get our Supercross
You know what a young
on
girl
the Big
says?
49.
when she's losing her
go.
virginity in the South?
Getting our Dukes of Hazzard rolling.
I don't know
Hey
if
guys,
I'll
I
let 'em know.
got an article here.
She says, "Get off me, Daddy. You're crushing my cigarettes."
I didn't want to know.
I got an article here that may be surprising to you. You know,
Okay.
KTM just opened that palace out in the IE that is the most
$53
beautiful.
million of beautiful facility down
And what is it called? It is called the Perrier or Pierre Center.
Yeah.
From their boss, Stephen Perrier or whatever his
Yep.
name is.
Yep.
All right. Well, it is an interview with him.
Okay.
And this may surprise some people. He did an interview with a street bike publication.
Okay.
And he went in and he was they started talking about e-bikes, and he kind of poo-pooed street bikes, period. I mean, e-bikes, period. He said they're talking about why most leading manufacturers are going all in on the inevitable future of e-bikes. This dude gave a thing and said, hey, we know KTM already has an electric motocrosser on sale. And he says, and they're scheduled for that e-Duke bike that's coming. And he goes, but that's as good as KTM's e-mobility future will get. He believes their future is all in combustible fuel engines. And he is sticking with it.
Good.
That's very surprising from that dude.
Well, it tells me that at some point either he knows a good hitman that can go to Sacramento and start knocking dudes off.
Well, he thinks that maybe they
I
should
think
do something
just-
like e-fuels, like different kinds of synthetic fuels might be the future as opposed to trashing combustible engines and going all e-bikes.
Got it.
That's the thing, trashing this stuff? What,
No.
You know?
No.
Yeah, I know.
That's been the agenda.
No,
Yeah.
there's no trashing when you have beautiful bikes sitting in your garage from every era of dirt bike era
Yeah.
That you can pull a spark
enjoy.
plug out and see how clean that thing's running.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can see how nice they are. You can see how well kept they are. There's a massive industry, as you know, in the parts department world in restoring vintage motorcycles. A lot
Yeah.
of guys come in and they're just looking for parts, and they're buying parts.
Come
And
buy
they're,
the stock bolts for
for
Which will
things
keep a
just to
business
make
open.
it totally original.
Yeah,
you know?
just to make them original again. And there's a lot of people doing that now. The used motorcycle market is huge right now, especially with used two-strokes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys are looking for those 78, 79 CR 250s and RC 250s, the first Elsinores that were coming out.
Right.
They're looking for those bikes because those bikes are going for a prime mint by collectors. And a lot of people love those bikes. And I'm one of those people. I love those motorcycles. I think they're great bikes.
Every one of them should still keep running.
They
made them for a
exactly.
reason. You let them at one point in time.
I mean, those old two-strokers with the low boy pipes that came out the bottom of them with a big expansion chamber
No
underneath the
suspension.
bike, no suspension. Those things are beautiful bikes. When you go to look at those old Hondas and they have the metal tanks and they're really well done, there's some appreciation there. And the younger generation, by the way, is really appreciating that retro look. They're loving that old stuff. And then obviously a lot of that old look is now coming into even the new bikes. I'm noticing that the new Works bikes that are coming out are all aluminum tanks, and they're making them try to kind of fit the vibe again. E-bikes don't do it. I mean,
So
e-bikes
we've been
have a
talking about
purpose.
the electric, and
E-bikes have a purpose. They have a purpose.
I
But
think that they do have a purpose,
Yeah.
but
They're a share of the market.
and
They're not
unfortunately,
the market.
It's a share of the market, and that's where the goal is heading, I believe.
yeah,
I believe that's what you were
Realistically.
saying. That's realistic,
yeah, exactly.
and it has to stay like that. It's going to stay like that.
Yeah.
because there's no way that they can cover the registrations, the taxes, even keep the businesses going
Exactly.
at that level.
You want to hear the greatest line of this entire article? This is I'll leave you with this. This is his best quote in the entire article as he goes on about synthetic fuels and trying other methods besides getting rid of gas burning engines. He says real motorcyclists don't buy electric motorcycles. That's
right.
a quote from this dude.
He's
And
right.
He's spot on. They don't.
He's right.
E-bike people buy e-bikes. It's a way to expand your brand. Like introduce an e-bike, and people that are into e-bikes will get those. You're not going to run off the traditional.
and I agree with that. Besides the performance, I agree with that. Besides the performance,
Dude, those e-bikes.
you're gonna
perform
start seeing.
mofos.
It's like it's gonna be. There's gonna be a place for them. It's like a percentage.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that? Because you're
They
gonna see
perform.
like people do these big high jumps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, those e-bikes are gonna go 10 feet higher.
Well,
Yeah.
You know, so there's gonna be certain areas where those things are. You're gonna see them
perform,
and people are gonna want them.
They will perform. I'm not.
That's what motorcycles did, is racing competitive and all.
Well, it breaks into the
and
next.
if someone's more competitive on that, then
It breaks to the next
it breaks
level.
through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It takes it to the next level. At the same time, a Stark Varg.
But no, nobody wants a silent bike, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Loud pipes save lives, you know?
loud pipes do save lives. I will point out that just this last week on Facebook, I was perusing around and a woman had just lost her husband in a massive motorcycle accident because of not being able to be heard.
Yeah.
And obviously on the road, he wasn't seen.
Heard, and I've told you guys a million times because I've been around it, like safety equipment.
Yep.
Like, dude,
Yeah.
you might think you have the right safety equipment, but it's not. It doesn't fit right, or
Yeah.
whatever that might be.
Yeah.
You know, that causes
it's the
huge
wrong
problems,
size or
bro,
whatever.
You know,
Yeah, safety equipment's an issue, but a big part of it is just not falling off, not ditching it. And car against motorcycle's always going to lose. So being able to be seen by the car, being able to be heard by the car is really important. It saves lives. You know, loud pipes do save lives. I mean, there's a
playing
truth
card
to
in the
that.
spokes is fine.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
That'll save you.
yeah.
Every time. Put that in the
Whatever.
spokes and you get brrrr, here you coming.
Yeah,
That's all you need.
whatever.
Put that on your e-bike and smoke it.
Loud pipes save lives.
the problem is just the agenda of like it has to be electric. That just needs to stop and say let's look
Because
at
we
this.
don't have the infrastructure for all this
We
electric
don't have
crap,
the
by way.
infrastructure, and it's not your choice again. It's ours.
Exactly.
You know,
It's our choice as
And that's the
riders.
point.
And there's a time and
it's
a
not
place.
the electric. It's the. Let's get to that point.
there's a
Yeah.
there's a time and a place for an e-bike. You know,
Even though,
if you're training in a neighborhood and you're like, I don't want to piss off the neighbors, but I do want to take some jumps and I
They'll
want to
still
get
complain.
comfortable.
If you're on an e-bike riding out in the hills amongst some big old McMansions out there, they're still going to call and say, there's someone out on a motorcycle ripping up the landscape. They're still going to complain.
I'm just saying
they're
that
making dust.
You can't complain really about the noise element.
Yeah, they
You
won't
know?
complain about that, but they won't stop complaining. We live in a world of Karens, and they always complain.
I kind of agree with that. You know,
Yeah.
there are a lot of people that will just complain for the sake of complaining.
The e-bike,
It's-
the e-bike
it's
story I
crazy.
had this week on
It's
the
crazy,
morning
it is.
show,
It's right. It's true.
which was kind of cool, was that the Amish are the big consumers now of e-bike, as in bicycles, e-bikes.
Okay.
That they are using them, and they say, you're like, wait a minute, they can't use technology. What the hell? But they say they only use technology that they can use as long as it's not reliant on the outside world. If you buy a car, you have to go to a gas station and get gas and da-da-da-da-da. And they say on e-bikes, even though they're cut off from the grid, that they have put these little solar farms on the Amish communities, and they charge the e-bikes, and that they have become big consumers of e-bikes, and that they like to ride them because it's a lot faster to jump on an e-bike and go to town than it is to hook up the horse and buggy, which they've
I
done
don't
for
know,
hundreds
though.
of years.
I'm going back to that horse and buggy thing.
I'll
I
go
think
to
it's just
horse
much
and
more reliable.
It's
And-
Nashville.
Yeah.
Dude,
Time to
if
go
they
raise
make
them.
us if they make
Exactly.
us go e-bikes here, I'm gonna get a damn horse and buggy. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, all right, I'll show you.
I
No
think-
more gas burners. I'm getting a horse and buggy and riding it down my street.
I think it would be funny to see Stretch in a horse and buggy rolling down PCH.
Maybe we should bring that to Paula.
just
Yeah.
pooping down the street.
Yeah, exactly. Pooping
We should
everywhere.
bring that to
There you
Paula.
go.
Yeah.
This is our mini bike, Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He brings out a horse and buggy. Hey, try our horse and buggy. We're here, Greg.
We're here.
You know what? And I was thinking too. Have you seen
Can
the
we pull
things?
that off?
That'd
The
be funny.
portable solar farms they
That'd be
have,
funny.
where it looks like a windmill almost, but it folds up,
We can
and
pull
then
that
you
off.
you hit it, and it goes up, and it spreads out. Looks like like a round satellite dish, but it's solar panels that are completely portable. That might be the future if California forces us to go to e-bikes. That might be how you ride out in the desert. You may go out there, bring one of those, set it up, and then recharge your bike.
All right,
so
hold
you
on.
can
a
have a
minute.
multi-day
Stretch, shut
trip
up
out
for a
there.
minute.
I'm serious.
Stretch, shut up for a minute. Let's think about this. Let's go back to this horse and buggy thing.
Yeah.
Can we bring one of those to Paula? Let's just do it.
No,
I
because
think it
it'll
would-
poop everywhere, and they'll
Does
throw
somebody
us out.
have a horse and buggy that can call in?
I think it would be funny.
And just because we can't bring a mini bike in.
can't
Yeah.
bring mini bikes.
Can't,
Can't
bring mini
a
bikes.
regular bike in.
Going up to the Fox eating area at the Fox VIP area up there. We're at.
I'm liking
It's literally like a mile walk to go.
It's too far,
Yeah,
bro. We need a
it's
horse
far.
and buggy.
The other end of the county where
complete-
we have to walk to get food from Pala.
It's far.
Maybe we can find somebody that'll like
You never
control
know.
a horse because I don't want to control the thing.
Or
I
maybe just bring horses. Just have horses there, just like just a row of horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of scared of horses. It's not like a dirt bike,
I used to have horses. I'm good with horses.
You good with them?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
good with horses. I used to have them.
Starts likes horses.
How do you slow them down? How do you hit the brakes?
You just pull back.
You pull
back.
back hard
You
and
just
have
pull
a
back?
bit. You have a big bit in their mouth if they're crazy.
That
If
seems
it's
like
a
it would piss 'em
really
off.
trained horse, it does, but they'll listen.
It's a really trained
Yeah.
horse to listen.
If it's a really trained horse, you don't have to have a big bit. It'll just
Listen.
do what you want it to do.
You're like, hey, stop.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And
That's what I
you just gently pull back on it, it'll stop. If it's a kind of spassy horse, like I had an Arabian, those are really spassy. You got to put a big ass bit in its mouth and get it to do what you want, or that thing gets freaky.
Of course, you would have a spazzy horse. It's owner's spazzy.
I had both. I had a quarter horse and I had an Arabian, and the quarter horse, by the way, was mean, and then my Arabian was like loving like a giant dog. He was just real scary.
So, is this from the horse races? Did
More-
you get one
more
of
of
these
the-
horse racing?
Well,
No, they didn't
Here's the
race.
funny thing about animals and owners. You notice that
I figure he got this from the horse races.
I'm just saying that it's really funny that the animals take after their owners. And in Stretch's case, he had a spastic and a mean one.
Right.
Well, guess what? He's spastic and mean on his own. He doesn't need an animal to
You know what my spastic animal was? It literally was like a dog. That's the one I used to take when my son was little, and I would go back in the field and race my red wagon down the hill, and he would chase us, and he played. He was just like a giant dog. He just got, he was afraid of all things. If a plastic shopping bag came into play, he lost his effing mind, dude. As soon as that bag came out and crinkled, he would start kicking and jumping and run for the hills.
Great.
It was
great.
weird.
That's all you need is just a plastic bag to
A plastic
trigger
bag.
to trigger an animal to go nuts.
He would go nuts around that. You have to calm him down. But if you didn't have a good hold on him, you were screwed. You better be real
Great.
alert when you were
Great.
with that dude.
A plastic bag is the motivation.
It doesn't go. It's like whiskey throttle.
You know what doesn't? You know what doesn't
Straight up
freak out?
whiskey
You
throttle.
know what doesn't freak out when you pull out a plastic bag? A good old dirt bike. That's what does it. It
No.
just it stays.
That's the thing. I think you can control a dirt bike.
Oh, you
know?
totally
Yeah,
can.
way more. Way more.
I've brought many plastic bags in front of many different brands of dirt bikes that say, bag says Tucker, bag says HYR, bag says, parts. You bring it in.
Bag that says butt plug.
Yeah. No, that's in front of you. Bike says, I don't care. Is there,
Yeah.
is
Where
there
was that
parts in
button?
there?
You
Bike
need
just
that
sits there.
button.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even though bike will kick back if
Wait a
it's an
second.
old
We
one.
put him in the basement.
Yeah.
I can put him in the
An
basement.
old Kickstarter will kick back.
Yeah. Kickstarters, the bikes that used to kick back really hard were those old Harleys. Those things would
Oh
kick you
God,
over the
that'd
bars.
kill you because that was a big ass
They could
engine to
kick you
kick back.
They kick you over the bars. When did Indians stop putting kickers on bikes?
Oh, the 40s, right?
Well, no, they had to have
40.
had to have been like the 60s or the 70s when the Indians stopped putting kickers on.
maybe you're right.
Because they started doing e-starts, I think, in the 60s.
Right.
60s and 70s, they started doing e-starts. Because Honda
That's what I was thinking,
doing
like 47
kickers.
around there. I knew they had them, but
Yeah, well,
right
back in
after
the
that.
old days, they all had kickers. That was the only way you're
Yeah.
going to start your bike, is kicking it. But
Yeah.
I think they started doing batteries and e-starts like the 60s, mid 60s.
I should know that.
64, 65, I think. I'm thinking that was the era because Honda. My dad has a 450 Scrambler, and they now sell 450 out in the shop there. It's got e-start, and it's a 68.
Okay.
So it's got e-start, but it's also got a kicker too.
Right.
It has both.
That's old school.
Hey man, I'm all about kicking. I like those old Hondas. I like that old look, that Scrambler style look.
And then it was all about like having the decompression lever,
Oh, of
or
course.
you know what I mean, like
Well,
how.
those old XRs, man. I got an
Right.
XR 500 out in the shop. that
God.
You need a decompression lever with that thing. Those big one lung 4-strokers.
Imagine that kickback.
500's not that bad.
Oh, you're full of crap. I don't want it.
500's not that bad. It was not enough to break your leg or throw you over the bars. Now a Harley,
Just
or an
don't start
Indian-
it with your flip flops on.
No,
Don't-
there's many people that go rack their knee into the handlebar.
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
kick
yeah.
back.
They get kicked back on the handlebar. But I'm thinking like a Harley or an Indian. Those back in the day would throw you over the bike. If you did not time your start and
Right.
got top dead center Roll it through. Hold it.
Wait too long.
1, 2,
Don't wait too
3.
long.
Don't wait too long. And what you gotta mean it. You can't half kick it. You gotta mean it. You gotta go all the way through and have follow through. Because if you half kick it, and that thing goes kapunk. It'll just go whoop.
Bam. Oh man.
I'll see
Kick
you.
you
and
right over,
Kick
right.
you right
Guys,
over the bars, man.
We're less than 10 minutes to gate drop in Nashville, Tennessee, getting ready for the Supercross. This
That is
the
correct.
pre-show here on the 49. We've got our picks in already, and rain has held out. They got a little rain leading up to, but it looks like today we're in for good weather.
Oh, by the way,
50% chance of thunderstorms.
I'm watching your nerd races right now with the guys racing drones. This guy is next to the hottest woman he's ever seen in his life.
Look how many people are
he's
watching
standing next
this.
to the most beautiful woman he's ever seen in his life.
There's more people there than Supercross right
He's
now.
just
Yes.
like, he's just like, wow.
Oh my
I can't
goodness.
believe I'm in front of such a beautiful looking woman. Oh man.
Oh my God, she
Oh
has
my
a
God.
vagina.
Wow. Do you have directions?
Yeah,
So
no,
this
it's
is
crazy.
drone. So anybody out there, this is drone racing
Drone
NBC
racing
right now.
that they're watching on NBC, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nerd racing.
By the way, the guys whose parents wouldn't let them get on motorcycles are racing drones. The guys whose parents were cool, they're coming up next.
Exactly.
That's what's about to happen. The moms that were like, "No, you'll get hurt. Here's a $4,000 drone." These drones cost as much as a dirt bike, by the way.
They do, and I don't know what it is with the virtual goggles on.
I think
the
they're
head.
making more money than Tomac in the first place.
They probably
I think
are.
they are. Dude, look at there's a lot of people in that big soccer stadium, wherever this is they're racing at.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's neat to see, but I mean, I don't see me buying a ticket to go watch this.
Hey, it's a party of nerds. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and they crash, but it's just a freaking little quadcopter toy that crashes. It's not a dude doing cartwheels on a freaking 300-pound machine.
Exactly.
We should hire a couple of these guys to go come down the canyon.
Well, what would happen?
They could
by the
probably
way?
fly these things pretty good.
What would happen if they lost control and hit somebody in the crowd with one of these things?
I know. Is there nets in front of the crowd? Because
Right.
they lose control because they clip the obstacles they're flying around going in tight. They clip it and then they do crash.
I'm just saying.
I wonder. They're going like fast as hell too. These things are really going at a high rate of speed.
Oh, they're moving probably 70, 80 miles an hour, something like that.
Yeah, get hit in the head with that.
Yeah, it'd suck.
Yeah,
It would suck.
I leave a red mark.
I'd leave a red mark.
Oh
Ow.
my God.
My
Insane.
opportunities for getting tail that night are going to be much limited because I have a big propeller slap in my face.
You got to be the winner.
Or you
You're
get
the
hit in
only
the
one,
crotch.
Yeah.
Get hit in the crotch. Imagine that.
Oh, then your party's over.
You're standing up cheering, waving your little glow stick in the crowd. Next
Glow
thing you know,
stick.
80 mile an hour quadcopter goes right in your junk.
Does this turn into a rave after?
Yeah. Ow.
Wow. Yeah, it very much looks like a rave with all
Oh, look
the
at!
neon
I think the
lights.
fat dude won. The fat dude won.
Nice.
The
Wow,
fat.
that could only happen in quadcopter racing and golf.
Oh, he's winded, man. He
Yeah.
got really beat up
Look
on
at
that
that, he's
one.
sweating,
He's
dude.
sweating like a mug.
Oh my God, look how fat he is. And they
needs
gave him a propeller.
he needs an
That's
extra
the
cheeseburger
Look at
for
the
that
trophy. The trophy is a propeller. Wow. I might need to get into this sport. I might be able to be a god. Wow.
You
at
just
that.
Look at the excitement. We don't even have that in Supercross right now.
No,
Oh,
people, these guys are fired up nerds.
nerds, man. It's like, oh, I couldn't have done it today without my mom and the panel station wagon and the tape on my glasses, and I just want to thank my math teacher for all you've done for me, and,
Right.
and I just really want to go out. By the way, I want to thank my physics class and my physics lab. Thanks, guys. You guys are really cool.
The winner gets the Monster Girl, but the plexiglass in front.
Oh, look at him! And the monster girl's like holding the propeller for him, like, oh. He's like,
Yeah.
oh man, the hottest girl I've ever been next to in my life just
Yeah.
gave me a propeller.
Yeah, and then walked away.
Dude, the only thing that's
Yeah.
missing right now is Oakley's. He didn't have some Oakley
I think he's gonna
goggles
take his own shirt off on the TV. That was weird.
Look at that guy, man. He is a fat little lump. That
Oh,
is
yeah.
not an athlete right there.
He
He's
doesn't,
a
he doesn't
full-on
have
athlete.
Oakley sunglasses or Oakley goggles on.
Yeah,
him.
no.
Something's wrong.
Yeah,
That guy
he's
is a
full of-
tic-tac away from a heart attack. Look at him.
Nah,
he is close.
I'd like to thank my sponsors at Carl's Jr. and I'd like to thank that double Western Star burger and
My remote was all greasy because when we started today, I was having a double cheeseburger, and it got really greasy, and it kind of made me mess up there in the beginning. But then I stopped eating, and I was able to
your
win.
Finger grip.
Yeah.
I want to thank my diabetes doctor for not letting me die today.
Wow. Insane, dude.
It really is.
This is
We're going to have to look into how much he just made.
Okay, you guys don't want to know because here's what's weird. I live in a weird neighborhood.
Stupid money.
I was over at a party at one of my neighbor's houses, and I met a dude who owns some esports teams. And I'm like, say what? And he is a rich dude that owns esports teams. And I'm like, is there money in that? And he told me the amount of money in it, and it's mind-boggling how much money is in esports right now.
Oh,
like
gee whiz.
Gazillions of dollars. Well, look at this. It's T-Mobile and Google are your main sponsors. Those are some blue-chip advertisers right there. They're getting a lot of money on this thing. It's
big
crazy
dough.
that you can't get them into motorsports because, oh, my God, it's bad for the environment.
It's no Logan Carr now, an OnlyFans.
Yeah, no doubt. Shout out to Logan. No joke.
Logan Carr now, man. No Logan
Dude, that
Carr
guy's a
now,
hustler. You can bring porn into motocross, you are a champion in my eyes.
That's no Logan Carr now, an OnlyFans. That's all I'm saying.
God, that guy's a champ, dude.
Oh, man. Look at this. That is the hottest girl I've ever seen in my life. And she's like standing in front of me and stuff.
She's handing me a propeller and I have a boner.
I get half a propeller. That's so cool.
Wow.
So, Mo, I didn't know you had a sister.
Which one?
The one he's trying to bang for the
the one
we're in Nashville?
The one I'm trying to bang? Yeah, it's a family affair. Yeah, close to the can, deeper in
Wow.
10. You know.
Nice stuff.
You know what a redneck girl says to her when she's losing her virginity, right? Get off me, daddy, you're crushing my cigarettes.
Oh, God.
Just saying.
That's awful. I'm offended. That's a man from Alabama. I'm offended. I'm horribly offended.
So is she
Can't
ginger?
believe you guys would say that.
That's where the redneck comes from?
Actually, my sister, believe it or not, not that I need to tell everybody this, my sister is not a ginger.
Okay.
No, she is Pocahontas.
She is not a ginger.
Well, that was offensive.
She definitely does not look like me.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like me at all.
Yeah, you're a freak, by the way.
I am a freak.
I'm just saying, as far as genetically, you're a freak. You are like, how you ended up looking like you look is bizarre.
I'm a freak.
Yeah, you were like a lab dish experiment or something from the 60s because I don't know what happened.
It's probably a product of the milkman.
A little culture.
Well, that's me, dude.
A little lab dish culture there.
Exactly.
Dude, my brothers are all my brothers outside of Buzz and I are everyone is like 5'7", 5'8" in my family, and then there's us freaking freaks of nature who came out as
feet tall.
Yeah, came out as clones. It's like, tell me something wasn't going on at that point.
I'm just saying when mom's alone and sitting around the house, the milkman comes to the door, and it's like, hey, you look like a good candidate.
I'm with you.
Strong, tall,
something
big
happened.
man.
And all of a sudden, these two giants come in. It's like, what happened with these two clones?
Oh well.
Yeah.
At least hopefully you didn't come out as a giant.
No, I did. I'm like my son, massive from the get go.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a 9-pound baby from birth.
Yeah. From the vagina tearing.
What you got,
it's
Jason?
been
Well,
massive.
I wanted to be fair about this.
Okay.
Okay.
So Kyle did send me his pics earlier.
Okay.
Oh, we got to give Kyle's picks. Yeah,
But
we can make fun of Kyle. If we do, we have to give his
I
picks.
was already making fun of him all
Okay,
day,
hold
and I
on
said,
here.
well, DNS, you did not start. Like, you didn't make it.
Hold on here.
No. Let's go. What's Kyle got?
Hunter Lawrence, Joe Shimoda, Jordan Smith, Max Anstey, Hayden Deegan.
Not bad.
450s. He went with Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb.
Wow.
That way you know it's Kyle. It's not the nephew because the nephew would have went Cooper Webb first.
Cooper Webb, exactly.
Yeah.
Barsha in third. Everyone's got Barsha in third.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chase Sexton, Ken Roczen, Dino ninth. We all have Dino in ninth.
Nice.
Yeah. I have him in 10th.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Good.
the only one with Dino in 10.
There's Eli Tomac right there on the TV, right there.
Eli is looking good. We are in the final 3 races. After this, there are only 2 rounds left, and today Hunter Lawrence can wrap up the championship for the 250 East. And next week we're back to 250 West, and then the week after that is. Do you guys feel like we got robbed out of the East-West shootout? Because I do. I think that'll really only be one, and it'll be in Utah.
Yeah, I think that we did, but we didn't. I think that when you see Hunter and his brother go after each other in Utah, it's going to be pretty much a straight ahead
We either
deal.
got robbed in Oakland or we got robbed there. One or the other.
Yeah, one of the two. No big deal. They'll get it done. Trust me, the boys will get it done.
I also think Hunter gets it done today. Hunter's winning that championship. There's no way he doesn't. He'd have to crash out and DNF
How about,
to not get it.
What do you think about Eli taking it today?
Oh, I think Eli's going to pull it off today. I think he's
How banged up is Eli?
I think he's going to literally put a fork in it and call it done. Like, boom, right now. I'm just
remember
own this
last
and be
year
done with it.
when Eli had a chance to put it away and then he didn't and it kept lingering and then we found out he had blown his knee out like 4 rounds before and he was still being consistent as hell. Remember that last year?
Yep.
We did not know that until after the season was over. So it is. I think Eli could be hurt and he'll race hurt because he's Eli Tomac and he's
hey
not
guys,
human.
I'm looking at this football stadium right now, and it looks a whole lot fuller than even like the Nerd Stadium earlier. All I'm saying.
Really?
I hope so.
Well, Nashville. Good
Nashville.
old boys. You know why? They're the good old boys.
They like
Never
their
meaning no harm.
motorsports. And there's Eli getting on his bike. So
I'm on a whole nother time zone than you guys because I'm watching it on the actual NBC feed. So
am I. We are.
you're watching on there too. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just now getting to the track, and the track has no sand. Oh no, it does have sand.
I'm looking at the boys watching.
Stuart,
they got it
Carmichael.
all going on. So
Right. Whoops. A lot of whoops. A lot of rhythms. I see a dragon's back. A nice long start. Nothing
Hunt us.
too crazy.
Hunt is taking autographs.
No, Moto. This is a right turn. This is a right turn out of the start gate.
No, this
It
is a
not.
left turn, I believe.
No, it looks like a right. I just saw it shoot out. Goes
Jason,
out and goes
on
to the
that,
right.
all right, Jason, up there, you're gonna see a magazine. That's the maps of all the tracks.
Pull it up.
Right there. Let's pull up that track. Let's pull up that track right there.
No, I'm looking at it. It's a right turn.
Let's
It's on the screen right now. If you look, they shoot out and they go right.
okay.
Which is going to make for a
see.
massive pileups in that big, and it's a big flat turn with no berm. A lot of times, guys will take the outside and try to shoot around on the
looks
berm
like
turn.
it is.
Houston,
It's a big
Texas.
right turn flight,
Looks like a right turn.
Seattle, Glendale.
This must be the only right turn they've had.
but it's a non-banked right turn, which is going to have pileup central. Dude.
Remember,
It
I
really
talked
is.
about that about 10 races ago.
I'm going
Yeah.
into
Why don't they
traction.
have right turn? You know, and you had an
because
answer.
of the brake.
Brake.
Yeah.
Because you're going to pile up. They're going to have to gear down with the engine, which is going to
Front
be
brakes.
insanity. Front brake in a flat turn on slippery dirt. What's going to happen, Chase Sexton?
All right, there's Nashville. Yeah.
Put some bar risers
I'm
on.
looking here.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, that's going to be
okay.
crazy. What happens when you hit the front wheel at high speeds going into a flat turn on slippery dirt? The front end washes out and you have pile up central.
Yeah, I'm looking here.
Look at that dirt, how slippery it looks. It looks like it's just hard mud.
Well, I was gonna say I see Daniel Blair on the old TV talking.
I got Will Christian right now.
Yeah, I was watching Daniel Blair. You know, Daniel Blair's a good guy. I like him.
Yeah.
Best broadcaster in motorsports.
he does do
You
good.
talk smack about Weege like that, and I will punch you in the nuts. Weege is the best moto broadcaster
Actually, I would
ever in the
never
history of
talk
ever.
smack about Weege. I just talk smack to get you riled
And
up.
also, by the way, Dan.
I like Hubbard.
I like
Dan
Hubbard.
Dan
He's my
Hubbard
friend.
is not your friend. No, he's
Dan
not.
Hubbard is my friend.
Dan
does a
Hubbard
good
is
job.
formerly our friend.
He does
He is
good.
no longer
He's my friend.
your
He
friend.
does good.
He's my
He
friend.
big time me in Anaheim. He is no longer. He is no longer my friend.
Well, what he does to you, I don't really care.
He said, "What's up?" And he
talks
walked
to
up
me.
and said, "What's up?"
Talks to me. Comes over.
Oh, he
like-
says what's up to me, and then he walks away when I'm like, "Hey, Dan, let's talk." And he's like, "Okay," turns his back and walks away. I'm like, "Dan, I'm gone." Like,
Dan.
this is some BS, Dan Hubbard.
I'm just saying. Maybe you need to look at you. What have you done?
Yeah, why don't they like you?
I am the face and the lovely spokesmodel of Big 49.
What-
so
what have
you
you done?
treat
What have
me
you
as you
done?
treat Big
Right.
49.
What
That's
have
what I
you
know.
done?
You done something nice for your brother lately?
I only like one of them. Yeah, there we go. Oh boy. Hey, you know what happened in Los Angeles last night?
I had to
Lakers moved on to the next round of
I had to
the
check the cameras.
NBA playoffs. I'm looking at good stuff. We are in the gate. The gate is up. The
Yep.
30-second girl is out, and these guys are about to get going on the 250s.
Yep. Hayden Deegan right there on the TV.
Yeah.
Let's see what happened here. It is the Big 49. And had to check the cameras there.
You like the 30-second
Have to
girl?
do-
Nice
have
little
to-
blonde?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tasty little treat. She's not my little ginger toast there that
And they
runs
are
around.
away. And they are
I wonder if
racing.
the Monster Girls actually, they travel with the team or with the tour, or they pick
They have their
new
own
Monster
semi?
Girls. Yeah, they have new Monster Girls in every city. You know what I'm saying? Or is
gotta-
it's the same, like, you have an East Coast group of hot chicks and a West Coast group of hot chicks, or is it there's just one group of hot
Right.
chicks that goes everywhere?
No, it's different because I follow a couple of them on Instagram with the Big 49 account, and some of them are there and some of them are not. So they do rotate them, even
Got
though
it.
I don't know if they're regional or not.
There she is.
But they rotate them. All right, well, they are racing hard, and there's a whole lot of blue up front right now.
All right, then.
Yeah. Let's get into some music and come back and tell
We
you who
will
won this thing.
Jump in, and what do we got? 5 minutes here? Something
like that. Yeah.
6 minutes here. 6 minutes.
6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on.
All right.
On.
It is the Big 49. Here's the Crooked Vultures.
Welcome to Supercross coverage from Nashville, Tennessee, and the Big 49 is ready. Stretch is here in all his redneck glory. Moto Man's ready to bang his cousin. Jason from HYR's ready to sell some tractors. And Bookie Kyle's got his banjo out ready to take on those city slickers.
Yeehaw!
No, I didn't get that straight from delivery. Get our Supercross on the Big 49. All right, we are the good old boys, and here's what happened in that first moto, guys. Jordan Smith wire-to-wired that thing. Hayden Deegan in second, Chris Bloss in third, Tom Vialli in fourth, and then Nice in fifth. Did see a lot of wrecks, a lot of privateers out. The biggest name in the wrecks that got out immediately was Welton of the Bar X Suzuki team. Outside of that, a bunch of privateers I didn't know.
That was a wad up, though. That was a bad wad up.
Carroll.
Yeah.
Carroll,
the slippery-ass track, right? I mean, it's super slippery looking.
Yeah, it was a pretty good wad up, I have to say. That was a pretty good gnarly little wad up. And, yeah, it is slippery. What they were saying earlier about the fact that you've got a couple inches of decent dirt on the top, and then right underneath it, it is hard and glassy. It looks
almost like powdery, like the baseball stuff.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. But you looking at the ruts, like there's already a lot of ruts after just one moto of 250s. It's ruddy already. This track's going to be beat up by the end of the night.
I wonder what the 450s are going to do to it, because if the 250s did what they did, I wonder what the 450s are going to do.
Oh, they're going to just
especially like that sand section is going to get turned up, right?
That sand section is going to get beat up.
Wet sand. Yeah.
But at least the sand section looks decent enough to where you're going to get okay traction through it. You're not going to completely lose your mess in that stand, because normally when it gets really dry and powdery, it gets nasty.
Well, last week in the pouring rain, they were saying that they were going through the plywood, and at times you would get hookup. They say you'd be an absolute slippery mess, and then the bike would hook up, and it was screwing people up.
Oh, dude, the bike would just jump out from underneath you.
Yeah, in that slippery, awful slip and slide they were racing
and just
on.
So people know, for the people at home who don't really understand this, when they build a supercross track and they go in and they actually set it up in a stadium or at a baseball field, the first official thing that they do is they come in and they layer plywood down on the entire field. So the entire field
to protect the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the entire field is basically covered in plywood, and then they come in over that, and then they put the dirt on top of that plywood. So while it is a base and it protects the grass and it protects what's going on, so they don't have to recompact the whole field and do all that other stuff, at the same time, it really, 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 if it gets soft or you get water or the track breaks down in a lot, it can really get right down to that plywood, and when it does, that's when bad things can happen.
Right.
And that happened a lot last week in the mud because the track was destroyed. It was soup by the time they were done racing with the 450s.
I wonder how they peeled that stuff up, by the way.
Oh, what a mess that must have been to
what
clean up after.
What a complete mess.
Gosh,
could you just imagine
that?
that?
And this track today, it's been down for the week, but they've been having rain in Nashville. So they've been getting some rain here and there, so the track got messy. It looks like they went back out and put a fresh layer of new soil over the top of the really wet, rain-soaked soil, and that's where we're getting that difference in turf today.
Well,
where it's bouncing back and forth.
I think they're going to go into, 250 Heat 2 here before long?
Yeah, which will have Hunter Lawrence, though. It was weird that usually we see a race that doesn't have anybody, then all your leaders are in the second one, but the fact that we had Deegan and Smith in that first moto and Hunter's not coming till the second one, I still don't understand how they separate Heat 1 and Heat 2 in this sport.
I think they're just doing it by time. I think they're just splitting up the times.
Qualifying.
And they're qualifying times, and I think they're just splitting it up between the two and just trying to make it as even as possible.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
If I could pick the winners of the next heat, I'm going to say Shimoda or Hunter's going to win, and Shimoda would be right there behind him.
And you're going to have Anstey in that next heat as well.
Yeah, that'll be your 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
There you go, right there. So
Anstey's in
for
the
people
gate.
that are just getting along, the last heat winners were Stretch.
Was Smith and then Deegan and then Bloss were your 1, 2, 3. Okay. Fourth place was Vialli on a KTM and then Nice on a Honda, a privateer at fifth. So Max Anstey, though, last week was his time to shine. He is an MXGP dude coming out of Great Britain, got lots of history racing in the mud, and when it started raining like it did and they went ahead and ran that race, it was his day, and it was cool to see Max get his first ever win.
Let's have a conversation really quick here before they start this heat and talk really quick here about your buddy Ken Roczen. What do you think Ken's going to do this race? Because where he's at right now, I think he's number 5 in the points. He stretches, buddy.
But you know what? I've been saying for weeks now on the Moto Minutes and everywhere, one of the most exciting battles has been for 4 and 5 between Barsha and Roczen. They both kind of got it together mid-season when the leaders had already separated out. And that's a damn good fight because both those guys are riding really, really well right now. In fact, they've both been on the podium for the last 2 weeks.
That's why. That's why I'm actually throwing this out there right now because both.
I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't both on the podium again today. They're both dialed in right now,
which is weird because we weren't picking them, and all of a sudden we started picking them.
Yeah. Well,
they heated up.
I mean, I've got Roczen right now as my number 5 today.
So do I.
I got Webb as my number 4 and Roczen's my number 5.
I have that same. So I'm with you on that.
I think Webb has got to be on it today, and it's messing with his mind.
But he can win.
Webb has to be on it, but I know it's messing with his mind. Because the one thing about Cooper Webb, while he does like to play head games, and everybody knows it, and he likes to get into other people's heads, the one person he can get into their head is on his own head.
I mean, it's just all the pressure's on him today. If he doesn't do this...
I will say this though: when Cooper last week, when the race was done last week, Cooper Webb did something I thought that was very, very straight up and heads up and righteous, and that is he walked over to Eli Tomac on the podium and he shook his hand and he just said, "Hey, good job, man." So
you know what? There's a lot of respect between those two because they're both 2-time champions. They're both
32nd girl's hot.
They're both legit. And I think there's a lot of respect between those two as champions and riders.
Yeah.
So what about J-Mart's back, huh?
Yeah, but do you think he's going to be a factor? The dude has a punctured lung a week ago, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Seems crazy.
I think it's a lot crazy. I think that getting out with a punctured lung on a track like this today is probably a little risky. Yeah. I would probably be sitting at home watching this on the old TV right now.
When you're completely out of the championship conversation, it's different if he was just points behind. He's nowhere in the conversation. Like, he's just tough as hell, and I think he's realizing he's in the twilight of his career, and he's just getting out there to get out there.
Well, he's definitely getting out there. So 250 Heat 1 has started.
Yeah.
We're going to watch this for another 6 minutes, and then we will come back in 6 minutes and give you the update. It is the Big 49. Here's some Chevelle.
Oh, boy. Welcome to Supercross coverage from Nashville, Tennessee, and the Big 49 is ready. Stretch is here in all his redneck glory. Moto Man's ready to bang his cousin. Jason from HYR's ready to sell some tractors, and Bookie Kyle's got his banjo out ready to take on those city slickers.
Yeehaw! That's nice. Just saying.
Does that stretch last the same way every time, or is that him in the tape?
Big 49. I'm on the tape. I couldn't help myself.
He couldn't help himself. My own joke. He's laughing at his own jokes.
Laughing at his own joke.
Couldn't help it.
Yeah, he's rule 1 about telling jokes: you don't laugh at your own joke.
Nah,
just FYI.
Yeah, it's funny. You laugh at it.
Don't laugh at your own joke.
By the way, Penis joke's funny every time. I laugh about them all the time, and making fun of you guys, I laugh at that all the time. Here's what happened in Heat 2. Hunter Lawrence, Max Anstey, Jeremy Martin in 3rd is impressive. Joe Shimoda in 4th, and then Owen Braswell, Shock, Cantanzaro.
So,
I say that because there were 6 Hondas in the top 9 for
So
qualifying.
who had J-Mart in their top 5 here today?
Not I. With a punctured lung. Not at all.
That's what we were talking about.
But it's a heat race, so I don't know if he's anywhere in the top 5 once we get to the main event.
Just throwing that out there. That's all I'm saying. Who had J-Mart in their top 5? I didn't have J-Mart there.
Yeah, Max Anstey's shot out of a cannon. He had the whole shot look good early on, and then Hunter's on fire, dude.
Anstey is a good one because he is now made Supercross into his career. Like, he's not going to do anything else in his career. No outdoor, no MXGP, no nothing. Just Supercross. That's all he's doing.
Imagine that. He's going to race Supercross season. Then he's going to go race the World Supercross over in Europe, Canada. I think they're going to go to Southeast Asia this year and in Australia, and then it'll end in Australia, and then he'll race the Australian Supercross and then come right back over here and start Supercross again next year.
Exactly.
That's cool. That's very cool.
He's doing Supercross on Supercross with the side of Supercross.
Yeah, around the world, which is
Exactly.
awesome.
That's
So
pretty cool.
that's pretty cool. That's awesome.
You know what'd be cool?
What's that?
What's that guy's name? Reed?
Yeah,
David Reed?
Mike Reedy.
Mike Reedy?
Yeah.
Wonder if he knows Daisy. We should see if she can run the pit board for us.
Catherine Bach.
Oh, she might be a little past her prime. Just
Catherine
saying.
Bach.
See if she'll run the whole board, huh?
She would
She
be quite.
could be past her prime.
I'm just saying, Catherine Bach would definitely be a piece of
Okay.
work there.
Serious question for the two of you. Who was hotter?
Sad I know this, by the way.
Who would be hotter back in their prime? Heather Locklear, Catherine Bach, and then what was the hot chick, Heather Smith from The Fall Guy? Remember the three of
Heather
them?
Thomas.
Heather Thomas from
Heather
The Fall
Thomas.
Guy. So you had three hottest women of that era on television. Who was the hottest?
I'm going to say Heather Locklear, and I'll tell you why. And I'm only saying this because I'm biased because I've actually got to sit down and talk to Heather Locklear.
Oh, so you got a little thing going on.
Pre-alcoholism?
Pre-alcoholism. I've actually got to talk to Heather Locklear, and she's actually cool as F, man. She is just a cool chick who just is.
So you're saying she said hi to you?
We had a long conversation about
Oh, it
it.
was more than
Oh,
She
yeah.
presented him with a trophy at the drone races.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I was like, oh, why don't you touch the hiney? No. In all reality, as you know, Stretch, we get put into situations at times in this industry where we're doing things like broadcasts and various events at locations where you may bump into people like that.
I got to hang out with her at a Bon Jovi concert when I had been on stage at a Bon Jovi concert at the Forum, and she was married to Richie at the time.
Yep.
And then I was backstage hanging out and got to hang out with the same thing. She was super effing cool. Dude.
She's super
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, she is.
And we were doing a show, and it was a benefit show. Basically, you guys know that I'm involved in audio, like the audio world. And sometimes at these sets,
you could fall back into the strip club business for sure.
I could definitely.
Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Sometimes on these sets,
That's kind of
they'll actually book a high level band to come play at the after set party. Okay,
Huge money too.
They'll do their last set or whatever it is, and then they'll bring in a band, and the band will come and play. Well, that's what this situation was, and we just happened to all be there at this particular event. And normally they sequester the stars. The stars are away from the hired help, away from the custodians and the janitors. Okay.
Holy crap! 450s just started.
Exactly.
That was fast. So NBC doesn't play. They started that
And
race.
this-
Bop,
So
bop,
you're
bop.
saying Heather Locklear,
In this
Yeah.
case,
Daisy Dukes,
Heather
and
Locklear.
who's the other girl? You're talking
Girl
Heather
from Fall
Thomas.
Guy.
Heather Thomas. And-
Smoking hot.
And she was kind of hot too. I would say this: Heather Locklear left all of the party people, came over to our
Cooper's
area
head just got ran over. Holy crap!
and hung out with us.
Holy crap! He's not getting up. Holy crap! He's down, dude. That was bad,
Hopefully, it didn't twist.
Yeah,
That's not good.
dude. He got his head ran over.
that's bad.
Adam Cianciarillo just ran over Cooper Webb's head, straight over his head.
That's bad.
Oh Lord, he is down.
Yeah.
He's moving. His neck's not broken, but he is down, dude.
Okay.
So he was. Can't say that.
Whoa! Both tires.
Oh.
He hit it once and then twice.
Yeah, I saw that.
Ooh, that's not a good look.
No, that's BAD.
That is bad, bad, bad. Oh Lord.
Be a red flagger, huh?
Oh Lord. By the way, it looks the way it got hit. It looks like he had a neck injury, but he's up now.
Yeah.
He actually
Like
got
he-
really lucky on that, I think.
Yeah, he's not getting back on the bike. He does not obviously have a broken neck. He's walking around now, so that's
he
a
just
really
sat
good sign.
down again. He's like, oof.
But his neck's not broken. Like, and that's the way when I first saw that, it looked like his neck snapped. The way his head moved forward so hard because he got hit by the front tire of that bike. Whoa, that's scary, scary. This is a dangerous sport. This is not drone racing. This is you're taking your life in your hands, and it is gnarly out there. Yeah. Serious injury comes to those who race dirt bikes for a living, and they all know it. It's part of the game. But boy, that was a scary one.
You know what? That was a smack, not a run over. Because a run over can make your neck twist,
It knocked it forward.
and that
yeah.
literally could snap you.
But it looked
Yeah.
like the front tire hit it and knocked it forward. It looked like the back tire went over it, but I think the back tire just went over the top. It wasn't as bad on the back tire.
Wow.
He wasn't on my list today, but I'm not saying why.
I had him in my top 5 at 4, but he is not going to be in the main event. There's no way they're letting him get back on a bike this season. It's done. Eli just wrapped it up, and it's a horrible, I think, way to wrap it up. I know Eli wouldn't want to be like, hey, cool, Cooper's hurt, so I got it.
With a hole shot. He had a hole shot right there.
I'm like, wow, that's
awful, especially with him being in the championship hunt and only down 11 points. And if that was Eli right now, Cooper would be taking over the red plate today.
Understand the amount of just pure energy that those motorcycles. Each motorcycle weighs about 245 pounds or so.
With a rider on it.
With a rider, then you've got another 170, 180 pounds on top of that. They're moving at 35 to 40 miles
coming out
an hour.
of that corner and probably
back-
second to third right
Yeah.
there.
And the back tire's kicking torque down when it goes over your head.
Yeah. And it just, that just was a bam.
That's the
bam.
gnarliest thing I've seen this year. We've seen some bad wrecks, but that is like the scariest looking thing I've seen this year.
That was pretty rough, and I'm really surprised they actually didn't red flag this race for that.
I was thinking that too. It was
Well,
on
he
the first
jumped
lap.
up, but that's the fight in that dog. That's the thing about Cooper Webb, dude. He should have been down going, God, get me in an ambulance. And he was like, get me back up. I want to get on. You could tell he tried everything he could to get back up. And get on the
It'll be
bike.
interesting to see the replay on that because, we see a little bit. But to really slow down.
His chime was thoroughly wrong.
He kind of went up, looked like a little wide in that corner and lost his front end maybe. But I don't know if it was the dirt or if
you know what's
just...
funny? He was rubbing with Eli as they went into that turn. Him and Eli were rubbing, and Eli even looked back to his right as Cooper went down. Eli was looking over his shoulder behind him to see what happened, and Eli saw him get hit by Adam C.
Yeah.
He was looking over his shoulder. Oh,
was
man.
brutal.
Because they were tangling, him and Eli. And that's, remember, he has to beat Eli today in order to get back in this.
And so now where's Sexton come into play with this? Because now
Yeah,
if
he'll be
he's
in the
out,
next heat.
And where's he at in points? He could still get...
It's a tall order for Sexton.
Eli's 11 points ahead of Cooper. Cooper is
And
ahead.
20-something points ahead. Almost 25 or he's like 23, 24 ahead of Chase.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But
So
if
it's
he's not
not
here
done.
this round and next round, that could put Chase up in the...
No,
Yeah.
Chase will move up to number 2 by the end of the season. Cooper's not coming back.
I was going to say, if Eli decided to literally sit on the beach and do absolutely nothing for 2 races, then Chase would have a chance. But Eli will
that's
never
not the
sit
way.
on the beach and do
No.
that.
Well, it's kind of like Hunter. Hunter has to finish above 20. Look at him. He came out like a beast today and just dominated.
The Alpine Stars guys are taking Coop off the track, and they have his head. They're holding his head, suspended it.
He's not on a stretcher.
No, he's
No,
sitting in
and he's walking around, so he's got function, and which is good. But he's best case scenario got a gnarly concussion. He got whacked. Dude.
I would say he got whacked really hard, and it probably, definitely moved his head forward, right? Like,
it snapped him. He
He could have whiplash too, on top of some gnarly whiplash on top of
Concussion, right?
Concussion.
Yeah.
He's at least got a concussion.
Yeah.
That was a major blow to the head with all that weight.
without a collarbone or something getting crushed right there. Right
that
now.
was worse than any UFC hit you would ever get in a ring.
Dude, yeah, you're not going to get hit with 350 pounds coming at speed. Yeah.
50 miles an hour at 350 pounds, just bam.
And it was a 1-2. It was more than a 1.
Yeah.
The first hit was the worst.
Be like,
but it
John's
was
Don't laugh at this.
it had a follow-up, dude. I mean, he
it-
got the hit, and then he got another hit right behind it. It was like the left-right combo.
It would be like John Jones coming at you, flying, and then doing the double combo at your face.
While still moving forward with all that momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah, at like
WWF style
40
off the
speed.
ring.
Yes,
Good.
dude. I'm glad Eli's all right. I mean, not Eli. I'm glad that Cooper's all right, and the fact that he stood up is a great sign, and that he was trying to get up. But he also went down a couple times after he got up because his bell was rung, and he doesn't even know where he is right now.
I do look forward to the next time, though, we get to sit down with Cooper and just talk to him man to man on that, because I would love to hear his perspective on that, and just, him going, hey, that was no joke, or, those helmets do work, except for blank, blank, blank.
Right.
Except for when you get your head ran over.
Yeah.
Because those,
Coop.
And then we got to hear what Adam C's going to say.
By the way, and don't get me wrong, as gnarly as this is, if there's any chance in hell he gets in the LCQ, he will. That's the thing.
And-
He's Cooper effing Webb.
And
dude.
I could
He's a
already
grinder.
tell from the replay
Yeah.
Adam C had his tire turned,
Yeah.
and he was gunning it, but he still had it turned like he was going to go, and he was trying.
Oh, you follow through.
Obviously, he followed through his berm.
You follow through, and it's
But he
in the line.
didn't do anything wrong because I could tell he was pushing his front end so hard right there. Like,
I hate to
that
make
was all trying to get away from him.
I hate to make a Days of Thunder reference here, but
Right.
when you see smoke into the corner, you
That's-
don't stop and slow down.
You don't.
You hit the gas and go through.
And that's what he did.
And
Yeah.
sometimes you may T-bone the car ahead of you. Sometimes you may go right by. In this case, with Adam, he couldn't have braked. There was nothing. He would have made it worse for Cooper if he would have tried to brake, stop,
So
and
you're
slow
saying
down.
Adam C's Daytona?
Here's your results, by the way. Results on this: Tomac, Cian Cirillo, Justin Hill, Nichols, and then
Kyle Chisholm.
Chiz is number 5.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
where
Kyle
it is?
Chisholm
Yeah.
is number 5.
So
You're
Chisholm is
saying Adam
5, then
C's-
Harlan, Clayson, Moran. Well, Kevin Moran's made it to main event.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Days of
And
Thunder.
Freddie Noren in 9, but Cooper is a DNF.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Adam C's Days of Thunder. You're saying?
Yeah, well, I'm saying that's
feel bad
that's,
for Adam
that's,
right
that's
now.
racing 101.
You would.
Is you don't. That's the only movie reference I can think of where you would think that your instinct is to do one thing, but in reality you have to do another.
He did everything. I mean, his wheel was totally tucked
Dude,
down.
you know how bad Adam
Yeah.
C.
and
Cirillo feels
you
right
could
now?
tell.
Oh,
He
dude,
feels bad either way, but he
Yeah.
did not do nothing wrong.
Adam C. feels really bad right now because he's the guy that
There it
did
is.
it. But
Those is it.
Yeah. There's nothing he could have done.
there's nothing
Right.
he could have done.
Wow. That was.
I mean, that's your classic S happens, man.
Yeah.
and that's
And, I mean, literally, Cooper's head, when he fell off the bike, it was just that he bumped with Eli, went wide in the turn, he fell over, and his head landed in the actual rut that Adam was in coming out of the turn.
yeah.
There was nothing
Nothing Adam
do.
could have done.
Nothing he could have done. Nothing he could
man.
have done. And that's just one of the classic. Accidents happen. S happens.
It was. You could
Yeah,
tell.
part of the sport. It's awful, but that is part of the sport. That is what happens in this sport.
At the same time, we wish Cooper Webb all the ability
I love Coop.
to get through this, and hopefully he doesn't have any permanent damage.
He needs to go in a big silent room right now and go chill for a little bit.
He's going to be in concussion protocol at best. At best, he's going to be in concussion protocol, which
Yeah.
sucks for him when you're in a dogfight for the championship and you're trying to fight your way back into it.
Yeah, that was a dinger on dingers, and he probably got some road rash on his back that nobody's talking about because you can't see it, but I can guarantee those tires.
There's a couple knobby marks.
Well, you
Yeah.
see how ripped
Ripping
looking
down.
his jersey was in the back, how loose his jersey was
Yeah.
around the neck. Yeah, I got that knobby and it pulled it down
when
really
those
hard.
when those tires hit you in the back like that, no matter if you've got clothing on or not, it pulls skin.
But okay, by the way, you know what else he probably has? He probably has a rope burn around his throat where the jersey pulled back so hard backwards as the knobby
Like
went over
clotheslined
it.
you right,
Yeah,
right.
it like pulled it down as it ripped the jersey, and it
Pulled him
probably
back.
choked him for a second before the jersey gave way.
And if not, like your throat too, like your helmet.
Yeah.
He got smacked with that helmet where that thing
Oh, it was bad.
pulled up on his helmet,
Yeah.
and his D ring was probably choking him out.
Yeah,
Almost,
Yeah,
Dude, that is bad.
It's just,
Like
the whole thing. When you think about it, it's just like, man, that is just a bad.
that's
scenario.
like going to the carnival at night and hitting that big the dumbbell thing on.
Ugh. That was just bad all the way around.
It's
Yeah.
like putting your helmet in the head and just getting hit by a dumbbell.
It's bad to see with anyone. It's exceptionally bad when you have the guy at number 2 in points who was really. You could tell what he was trying to do was beat Eli. He needed to beat Eli.
Yeah, well, he's a highly competitive guy.
Yeah.
But he messed up in that corner. That was him.
Yeah, everybody who is
No
in,
one-
in this sport, though,
Nobody parked him in that corner besides
You're-
himself.
Yeah, Eli didn't dirty dog.
you're not in this sport unless you are highly, highly competitive. That's just all
Yeah.
there is to it. You have to be seriously competitive to be in this sport.
He went wide. Eli was on the inside. Coop tried to go on the outside. Eli went a little high on him, and then he hit a tough block and then fell back into the track, and Adam C. was in third and ran his head over.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
Wow.
So,
That is something.
all that being said, anybody going to change their picks?
My
We're
picks
going to
are
have to
good,
take
right?
Eli
Where
out.
we are.
I'm going to have to take Cooper out. I'm sorry. I have Coop in as right now as my number 4.
I have Coop as my number 4 right now.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put Adam C. in place of Cooper. That's what I'm going to do.
I think
I'm
you
gonna,
should
I'm
get
going to rotate Adam out.
docked 3 points for changing your picks.
That's effed up.
Wow.
Wow. They're
Jason's-
talking to Eli Tomac now.
Jason's playing hardball right now.
Jason is trying to scramble. He's Cooper Webb trying to scramble for points. You better watch out. I'm going to run his head over. Ooh,
Wow.
Is that too soon?
That's a little too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah,
I apologize. Because Coop is my friend, and I love Coop.
Yeah, jokes.
But I know he's good. I know Coop is good because I could tell by the fight in him when he jumped up to get back on the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did get up, but you could see when he stood up, all of a sudden everything
head
got
got wobbly,
spinny
right?
and wobbly,
Yeah,
and
he went
he
back
sat
down
right
twice.
back down, and it was like, okay.
And they were trying to get him off
holding
the
up
track.
his chest here, right?
Yeah.
that
Do you
was
know what's
kinda a
funny
weird
though?
spot, like, to
Everyone
me.
was more horrified than
Well, he
he
got
was
a handlebar in the chest, guaranteed.
because they were trying to get him back. They were trying to get him not to move because everyone, when you saw that, you thought neck injury, and so everyone was like, "Oh crap!" And they were trying to get him to stay still. He kept trying to get up, and you could tell they were trying to keep him down. And then when he got up, he fell back down.
Yeah, it was.
Woo.
God finally said, "Sit down, son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit down."
Oh, that was gnarly.
That's-
He too's getting ready to fire up
bad.
here already. They
All
are in the
right.
gate. They're moving it fast because it's on NBC regular today.
Yep. So they will be getting this underway. We will jump into a song. We will be back right after this. It's the Big 49. Here's some Ted Jr.
Oh, Coop's crying. Coop's crying. He's sobbing. Oh.
This is a song. This is a little love song called Wang Dang Sweet Poontang.